with a wish for all beings to experience freedom from the prison of thought patterns, emotional reactions, and distorted perception. I will always go for refuge to open, radiant, alive awareness until I recognize fully enlightened mind, heart mind, enthused by wisdom and compassion. Today, in all beings present, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all beings. As long as space remains, as long as beings remain, may I manifest in such a way to ease and dispel the miseries in the universe. It says right there what we were pointing at. Enthused by wisdom and compassion. Not beating myself up with I should practice harder or anything else. Any description. Enthused by wisdom and compassion. Today in, you could say Buddhas or beings, presence. I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all beings. It says right there. It says to me the most beneficial action, as long as there's an I taking action, is to take steps, practices, whatever arises that causes enthusiasm. To fully, I lost the words for a minute. You can help me if you remember. To reach, to recognize fully enlightened mind. As we start this, I have a vision of the story about the starfish that were beached. Very commonly told story about the child who is walking along the beach, thousands of starfish, right? And he just picks them up one at a time and carries them back to the ocean, back to the water. And an adult shows up and says, "What the heck are you doing? There's thousands and thousands of these. The most you're going to do is save a few. What's the point?" And the little person says, "It makes a difference to this starfish. You know what else? It makes a difference to that young person." Interconnect. So whatever arises in your memory, your imagination, your current experience, where you might experience that wave, is how I experience it. I can't speak for you. Of warmth, of open-minded, open-heartedness, of what we call love, but limits that expression, that experience. Perhaps for another being. Perhaps it arises in nature for you. There's a timeless quality to this experience. For a moment, it may be experienced purely as it is, as it arises. And if you happen to look with awareness at that moment, before we grab onto it as something we like, or we grab onto the particular stimulus that we think caused us to feel it, before we grasp onto anything, if you sit with a bit of awareness in that experience, you may notice a timeless quality, a sense of maybe familiarity, of, oh, of course. Of a lack of separation between whatever might have been the stimulus to help this arise and our perception that we are feeling it. We said a time we felt that warmth, that open-heartedness. Did it come from the baby? Did the baby give it to us? Did we give it to the baby? No need to figure that out in the least. In moments when that happens spontaneously, without any attempt to grab an eye that is seeing us, seeing this, simply rest right there. Everything about our practice, our visualization, is about resting right there. So for now, we allow that experience that we may be calling up from memory or imagination, or perhaps for a minute, we experienced it freshly in this moment. We allow that to fully nurture, nourish, fill our heart chakra, where sits a lotus made of light, 1,000-petaled lotus. For a moment, as we relax into this experience, this sensation, this thing that's hard to name or grasp, the symbol of open-hearted, open-minded love, the lotus, can relax completely. Our heart can relax completely. Heart, mind in Tibet, for this is where there is no differentiation for a Tibet. And as this lotus that is experientially visualized as us, or sensed, or felt, as it relaxes with this wave of warmth, openness, indescribable, it completely opens into its natural state. We use the term lotus, something its roots grow out of the muck, the mud. But when the blossom opens, nothing can stick to it, nothing harms it. Throw mud at it, it simply washes off, just drips off. True nature of heart-mind. Vajra strong, unbreakable. And as this lotus opens completely, we see the 6 inner leaves of the 1,000-leafed lotus, each of which holds 1 syllable of the mantra. A mantra said for hundreds, if not thousands of years, by thousands, if not millions of people, as a pathway, as an opening of a doorway, connecting, opening this open-hearted, open-minded love. And we can repeat the mantra 3 times. Do each syllable at a time, different colors, if I didn't say that. Om, Ma, Ni, Pe, Me, Hum. You may pronounce it differently. However you pronounce it, as you've been taught, is fine. Om, Mani, Peme, Hum. Om, Mani, Peme, Hum. And as we continue to say that mantra, the inner 6 petals start to turn clockwise until the 6 colors of light blend together into a white light made of no thing other than this vibrant, alive, open heart, open mind. Love. The love that embraces with no exclusion. Sadness, joy, happiness, even anger, loneliness. The light is the light of aliveness, Buddha nature. And as it radiates out from the center 6 petals, it starts to fill all the 1,000 petals until they begin to elongate and become rays of this soft, vibrant, alive light, not static. You may hear the light as the mantra. You may hear the light as what's called the roar of the dragon, the flight of the Garuda, the sound of the universe, the sound of aliveness. You may see it as light rays radiating out into the universe. You may have the sensation of these light rays filling your body completely, and naturally expanding until there is a lack of sensation of inner and outer. Let this open in each occasion that we have a chance to do this together, or you do it on your own. Let it open as it opens in those moments. No hold. And as these rays, this sound, this sensation radiate out into the universe, they touch 1,000 beings, filling their lotus, allowing them to completely relax and open where the occurrence repeats. The 6 inner petals, the white light radiating, the petals elongating and touching 1,000 beings, allowing them to rest and relax into their natural state, into this natural, open-hearted, open-mindedness. These rays automatically radiate back, filling your heart again and again. We may sense for a moment the true nature of Nirmanakaya. And imagine all of us recognize this. How much suffering, needing to protect, needing to grasp or push away, simply slips away. Nothing to hold. And we rest here as this expands to 1,000 rays of light or vibration, sound, and or no need to separate, and sensation. And here you may, or there may be an experience of being the universe, being no thing other than this openness, warm, vibrant, alive, and radiant. Might be a sensation of expansiveness with no limit. Till we are that. Almost as though from that opening of the first lotus, like a balloon filling, a balloon with no container, but filling until it is the entire universe. No thing outside, no thing inside. And we can rest here. Whether this appears, and I encourage everyone to let it occur in all of its feltness. Light, infinite light touching infinite beings until there is no thing but light. Your heart, heart of space mind, no thing to be held. Sound, underneath the manifestation of individual sounds, or perhaps the blending of all sound. And we rest here. There is rest here. Also, a subtle awareness not focused, not self-contained, simply open. Simply alive awareness. So simple. Brief moment, perhaps longer, it's hard to tell. Very timeless. No experiencer describing the experience to themselves. Simply alive awareness. As far as our imagination expands, heart mind expands. We are creatures of lifetimes of habit. Ooh, resting here, so simple, so obvious. So known. So familiar. We visit again and again, notice again and again. Open awareness is always present. We just don't notice it sometimes. That's why we practice. Resting here in this openness is, mm, is more beneficial than any tightening, any argument, any need to push any feeling away, any need to criticize. We need to judge. We may have a sense of action. Oh, the simplest one. An action of enjoying a hummingbird, finding food. An action of reaching out a hand to someone who is slipping. Spontaneous action. What a relief. I don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It arises naturally. We can bring this expansive experience of aliveness, radiance, as light sensation back into our heart chakra, back into the center of the lotus. For today, I'd like to rest right here. Please feel most free to continue on your own. We may also glimpse how unnecessary a dedication of anything is, because there is no separation. There is no need, no occurrence of holding, no occurrence of needing to send out. When that does occur, we offer it to remind ourselves that there is no thing to hold on to. It arises today to say, I believe it is from here, as we rest, even just for a second, think a useful practice to set an intention, or our form will dissolve into this radiant, spacious, alive awareness. Where would you like your form to arise again? Will your microbes and bacteria arise with you? Where will the radiance of your unlimited alive awareness? Where will radiance, once the form is dissolved, arise again? For surely no thing dies. Thank you for spending time together.